Chapter 1, Pinocchio is carved. The story begins with a poor woodcarver named Geppetto, who is lonely and wishes for a child. One day, he carves a puppet out of a block of wood, and to his surprise, the puppet begins to speak and move. Geppetto decides to name the puppet Pinocchio. Chapter 2, Pinocchio comes to life. Pinocchio immediately begins misbehaving. He kicks Geppetto and runs away from home. That night, a blue fairy appears to him, telling him that he can become a real boy if he behaves well and proves he is capable of learning lessons of morality and kindness. Chapter 3, Pinocchio's first lesson. Pinocchio goes to school, but he is easily distracted. Instead of studying, he meets the fox and the cat, who trick him into burying his money in the field of miracles, promising that it will grow into a tree full of gold coins. Pinocchio believes them and loses all his money. Chapter 4, Pinocchio's lies. When Pinocchio tells a lie, his nose grows longer. This is one of the story's most famous elements. Every time he lies, his nose continues to stretch, and people mock him for it. This becomes a central lesson for Pinocchio, teaching him that lying brings consequences. Chapter 5, Pinocchio and the Puppet Show. Pinocchio is eventually caught by a puppet master, who turns him into a puppet and puts him in a traveling show. During this time, Pinocchio realizes that he misses Geppetto, who has been searching for him. He wishes to escape but is punished and confined. Chapter 6, Pinocchio's escape. After a series of further misadventures, Pinocchio is freed. He tries to return to Geppetto, but on his way home, he is tricked again by the fox and the cat, who promise him that he will become rich if he invests in their schemes. But the plans fail, and Pinocchio ends up penniless and disillusioned. Chapter 7, The Land of Play. Pinocchio meets a boy named Lampwick, and the two are lured to the land of play, a place where children never have to study or work. However, in the land of play, Pinocchio and other boys are transformed into donkeys because of their laziness and bad behavior. Pinocchio, realizing his mistake, escapes just in time before he fully turns into a donkey. Chapter 8, Pinocchio and the Sea. Pinocchio continues his journey and is eventually swallowed by a giant fish, often referred to as the terrible shark. Inside the fish, he finds Geppetto, who has been swallowed by the same creature while searching for his lost son. Pinocchio and Geppetto escape by working together, and they are eventually rescued by a fisherman. Chapter 9, Pinocchio's redemption. Pinocchio has a change of heart after all the misadventures. He decides to prove his worth by taking care of Geppetto, who is now old and frail. Pinocchio works hard, showing kindness and responsibility. In recognition of his growth and repentance, the blue fairy rewards him by turning him into a real boy. Chapter 10, Pinocchio becomes a real boy. In the end, Pinocchio's wish is granted. He transforms into a real, flesh and blood boy, and he now lives with Geppetto, who is overjoyed. Pinocchio's transformation symbolizes his journey from mischief and selfishness to maturity, kindness, and responsibility. Moral of the story: the story of Pinocchio is a moral tale about the importance of honesty, hard work, and personal growth. Pinocchio's mistakes and misadventures demonstrate the consequences of lying, laziness, and greed. His eventual transformation into a real boy reflects the idea that personal growth, responsibility, and goodness are the true qualities that make someone real or worthy.